Okay, the meeting is now streaming.
And you have 1 minute or less.
Okay, record to the cloud. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. No matter what time zone you happen to be in, welcome to Leaders Worldwide. If you are a guest, please put a G in front of your name. And if you have a cell phone, believe it or not, turn it off, even though we are virtual. Club mission, we provide a positive and supportive experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Core values: integrity, respect, leadership, and excellence. Now, it is my pleasure to introduce our president, Tala bin Hamid. Tala, over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Isaac. I hope I'm audible. Yes, I will be visible. I've just turned off the video in order to safeguard the connection. Welcome, everyone, to meeting number.
Bye-bye, Tom.
I'm back. All right. Apologies for that. Yeah. So let's continue where we left off. All right. So welcome everyone to meeting number, oh my God, I can't read it, 99 of Leaders Worldwide. Wow. Let's party like it's 99. All right. And it is so amazing to see the club reach this threshold, and I believe that the charter members especially would be feeling so proud, because not only have we reached to the 99th meeting, but we've done it with aplomb and style, and we've done it while providing unparalleled guidance and education to our members. And after all, Toastmasters is all about education. So it's a proud moment for all of us. And going farther together is a theme for today. And meeting number 99, what could be a greater evidence of going farther together? We have meeting 99, we will have meeting 999, because as long as we are all together, to keep joining us with the same spirit of togetherness that this beautiful community provides, I'm sure that there's no stopping us. So with that, on that note, it is my honor and privilege to hand over the proceedings to a wonderful Toastmaster. But before that, let me check if we have any guests. Oh yes, we do have any guests. All right. So we have, and please let me know if I'm pronouncing it correctly, guest Deshmukhia Atifa. Is that correct?
My first name is Atifa, so you may please call me Atifa. I think it's easier. Am I audible?
Yes, Deshmukhia, are you there?
Yeah, my first name is Atifa, so you may please call me Atifa.
All right, all right. Guest Atifa Deshmukhia, please introduce yourself and how did you make it here?
Right, I am from Gurgaon Toastmasters Club here in India, and I've been on a lookout for good company to carry on my Toastmasters journey. I think I have arrived at the right place. I'm considering membership of this club. So I've been in contact with Kathleen and Cynthia previously. So I'm very happy to be here. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. You've come to indeed the right place. This is one of the best clubs you'll find, and more importantly, this is one of the best communities you'll ever find. Especially Toastmasters in general is perhaps the best community in the world, and Leaders Worldwide is the best of the best. So yeah, I've used the word of the day twice now. Word can be yeah. So all right, we have another a guest with a beautiful name, Toastmaster Hope. Please let us know what brings you here. Master Hope, are you there?
Hi, good morning, good afternoon. You hear me okay?
All right,
Barely, we can hear you.
perhaps we can move on.
With my
And we have another guest, but she's our keynote speaker, so she will be introduced adequately. But right now, guest Keisha Kent, and I hope I
Think quiche. Eat, you know, the breakfast. Think quiche. Keisha.
Okay, what happened?
Well, while Tala is dealing with technical issues, I will jump in as Toastmaster for today. And today, as Tala has described, our theme is Go Farther Together. And Keisha, got it right? Okay. Keisha Kent will be presenting our keynote speech, which has everything to do with better ways to work together and expand one's network. So before we get to her presentation, however, as is the general structure of Toastmasters meetings, I will introduce the general evaluator who will describe and get some help in the various roles of support to our speakers. Gary Howarth will now present functionary roles and will close us out with a general evaluation. So make sure you're good to him.
Hello,
Gary?
fellow Toastmasters. As general evaluator, it's my job to look at the entire meeting here as a whole and to evaluate and look at all the components of it. Second part of what I do is also to evaluate the evaluators who are going to be evaluating the speeches today. And overall, just let everybody know how the meeting went. And at this point, I would like to introduce our grammarian, Sally Reyes. And Sally, would you talk to us about what you're doing today?
Thank you. My job is to listen to the speeches and the deliveries and count perhaps unnecessary words and become, so we can all become more aware of how many times we say and, if, or, but. And I love to count the words that I think are extra special and make a comment if I can catch something. And my other job is to count the word of the day. And our word of the day is community. And that is a group of people with similar interests. And I can't think of the rest of it. Anyway, so we look forward to hearing you use community in your speeches or comments. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much, Sally, for sharing with us the grammarian role. And I'd like to invite Victor to explain his role as timer in today's meeting. Victor?
I will be timing the different components of the meeting like a boss, because if I didn't, some people would talk all the time. Toastmaster has included that structure for people who talk all the time, who just talk because they don't have anything else to say. And so I, as the timer, want to talk too much myself, but I'm going to cut my urges right now and tell you how I'm going to show you when it's time. At the prescribed time, I'm going to change the background to this, which is a green as a signal light. And then I'm going to go from green to yellow, which is the signal light. And then I'm going to go to red, which is also telling you that you have completed your allotted time and you should be done within 30 seconds, or you will be disqualified from being a timely Toastmaster. Back to you, Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you very much, Victor. And at this point, I would like to turn it back over to our Toastmaster, Teresa Cherry.
Sorry, I was supposed to be speaking and couldn't for some reason. Today, it is my pleasure to introduce to you our keynote speaker, Keisha Kent, who is presenting a speech entitled Networking, It's a Superpower. She is author of a book of the same title, among many other roles. She is a wife, mother, high energy speaker, author of the aforementioned book, podcaster, and national diversity talent leader. She's been doing all these roles for over 17 years in talent acquisition, training, and development. She will share her expertise as a keynote speaker for a diverse group of, she has shared her expertise as a keynote speaker for a diverse group of business and other organizations, and they are really too numerous to mention at this point. She also serves on the board of TEDx St. Louis. So very impressive background, lots of credentials, a very knowledgeable and exciting speaker. So Keisha, networking is your superpower. Keisha Kent.
Thank you so much, my dear. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for having me this morning. Thank you for this amazing time. I love the fact that you take time in the beginning to network. It's important. I'm telling you, there's nothing more important than relationships. And at the center of it all, networking is relationships. So I'd like to kick off and really want to give you guys an opportunity to think about grace right now. And if you would, in the chat, what comes to mind when you think of the word grace? What comes to mind when you think of grace? Tell me, what comes to mind when you think of the word grace? Now let me see if I can see the chat. Am I missing the chat? Poise, yes. Okay. What else comes to mind when you think of grace? God, yes. What else comes to mind when you think of the word grace? Connectedness with healing source. Yes, come on. All of those things, when you think of grace, I want you to stop and pause and think of the word grace. And here's why I say that. Often in networking, when you're meeting new people, you may not always connect to every single person that you meet. Let me pause and say that again. You may not connect to every single person that you meet. It's okay. And I want to give you the opportunity right now to give yourself grace and be okay with that. But also in the midst of the grace, you need to give other people grace too. Everywhere somebody is battling something, we have no idea of what that is. But as you center yourself in the mindset of grace, what will happen is you get an opportunity to win. Because the fact of the matter is, in this whole networking scheme of things, we want to win. We want to connect with people. There's also a phrase that I want you to write down. Somebody type this in the chat for me. Your network equals your net worth. So that was K and TH. Your net worth equals your net worth. And again, as you think about the word grace, I really want you to be in that frame of mind and pause as you begin your networking journey. But the number one way that you find whatever it is that you're looking for, whether it's a new person to do your lawn, whether it's somebody to do your hair, whether it is someone to do whatever it is that their expertise is, typically you can pick up the phone. If you're old school like me, call a couple people and tell them what you're looking for, and they typically can help connect you. Really, whatever we're looking for normally can come through our network, which is why it is so important that your network is diverse. When I pulled up in here today, this amount of diversity within this club, as a talent leader in that diversity space, it warmed my heart. When we think of how heaven looks, how it's going to look when we go this new place, it's going to be filled with different people. There won't be everybody that looks the same. If you pull up and it looks the same, you know what I want you to do? Back up, turn around, and go out the door. Okay, so let's get this show on the road. I have a question for every person that's here today. If you had a talk show, who would be your first person that you would interview on your talk show? Who would be that first person? And I'll kick it off. If I had a talk show, which I had a talk show in the past on Roku, if I had a talk show today and I could pick whoever I wanted to be on that talk show, it would be a hard feat for me to come up with. But if I had to choose, I would pick my grandmother's grandmother. And the reason that I would choose her is she is this woman that was thebomb.com. She raised 10 children. She had a garden. She worked from home. She had a daycare inside of her home. She was that woman on the street in the community where you could go there and you could get services, childcare. She could probably make you a meal. She was that person that would show up. If there was a repast or a funeral or anything that was happening, she would be that person that would show up and give you what you needed. So in the chat, or you know what, if you'd like to unmute, tell me who you would interview on your talk show. And I
Cynthia.
Who was that? Cynthia?
Cynthia.
Tell us why.
She is diverse, sensitive, and caring, and steadfast in where she wants to go with everyone.
I love that. And I can attest to that. She brought me in, and the reason that I knew all about your club and what you do is Cynthia.
Exactly.
Simple. That's how I got here. Cynthia
She changes our lives.
She is a life changer. And Cynthia, we give you your flowers today. Thank you. Who else? Who else would you interview? Anyone else would love to share who you would like to interview? And in this interview process, typically when we meet people for the first time, we're typically interviewing them. Think about it. We are. This question makes so much sense. Tell us.
I would interview distinguished Toastmaster Victor Jenkins.
Ooh,
I would ask him
Victor
why doesn't he own a horse?
I love it so much. And again, as you think about the level that relationship can go to, it's that interview in that networking that really helps you get a more sense of who that person is that you're interviewing. And when you think about interviewing from a HR standpoint, typically we interview people to know who they are. We want to get an idea of who they are. And when you're networking, it's important for you to have a list of what it is that you want to get from this connection that you're meeting with. Not go into it blindsided or willy-nilly, but go into that with a game plan, right? And that way, as you're networking, you have the ability to really connect with people and take it to the next level. All right. Thank you guys for your participation there. All right. There's a plan of action I want to run through really quick because there's a couple things that you really need to understand as you're networking. First of all, you need to understand that you have to have a power statement. Show of hands. Who's familiar with the 30-second elevator pitch or 30-second commercial? Who's familiar with that? Show of hands. And Victor, your hand's been up this whole time, so I'm guessing that yes, you know what that is too. Fabulous. Next, I want you to really get into that frame of mind today, understanding that networking starts with you. And I'll talk about a few tools that will help you for your toolbox so that you can move forward and get what it is that you need. Next, I'm going to tell you a little bit about goals, and we'll talk about why it's so important to have goals around networking. Oftentimes, again, people are willy-nilly through this process and they're not getting what they want because they didn't get a plan ahead of time. So we'll talk about the goals. Then I'll tell you a little bit about LinkedIn and how you can use some quick little nuggets that will help you network as well. And then there's an acronym that I love to share with you guys. And the acronym is TEST. There it is. Wham, it's TEST. So let's get this show going some more, you all. Okay, so my first question to you, I'm putting it back on you. Yes, I'm speaking, but I'm putting it back on you. How do you introduce yourself? How do you introduce yourself? Any takers? I would love to have 2 takers that will tell us how they introduce themselves. 2 people. Okay. Anyone? How do you introduce yourself? Anyone? Let me see if I see some faces looking at me.
May I?
Yes, you may. Yes, you may.
Yeah, I'm Atifa Deshamukhya. I'm a certified relationship coach. I help people get through problems that they are facing in their relationships, and I hope to meet you soon again. Something like that.
Ooh, love it. Love it, love it, love it. Who else? Introduce yourself. This is your opportunity to go even further. Introduce yourself. Tell us who you are and tell us how you would introduce yourself. Anybody else?
May I?
Rabia, I see you. Okay, Kathleen, go ahead. And then Rabia, you go next.
Oh, let's give it to Rabia first.
Fabulous. Rabia, introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Rabia. I'm a housewife, a mother, and now I have started considering myself as a social worker as well, a philanthropist.
Ooh, love it. Thank you. Kathleen, next.
I'm Kathleen, and I help creatives find their talents and live a spirited life. And I use palmistry to help them do it.
Oh, yeah. Love it. Who else? Why does my screen keep doing that? Who else would love to introduce themselves? There we go. Okay, fabulous. This is enough. Because what I want to do is I really want to give you an opportunity to do that so that you can understand that in that process of introducing yourself, that is where the magic happens. And I want to give you a little bit to add to that introduction to take with you as you're networking, as you're connecting, as you're building. It starts with you. And I say this over and over and over because it does. We think that it's the people that we're going to go network with. It's not. It's you. Can you hear me? It's you.
Yes.
It is you. And here's what I want you to think about. Let's talk about that power statement. I mentioned it a little bit earlier, and I want to give you some tools. So screenshot this, and I will walk you through this so that you understand what's very vital for meeting someone, okay? First thing, of course, this is a money statement. So I want you to save this statement, screenshot it, keep it, but keep it in your back pocket so you have it. Okay, the first thing you want to tell us is your name. That's a given. But sometimes when you're connecting with people and you're outside of a virtual space or you're in person, people sometimes forget their names. Don't do that. Tell us your name. Tell us your current status. Are you a full-time stay-at-home mom? Are you a full-time student? Are you the CEO? Are you a new entrepreneur? Are you an accountant? What are you in this current moment? Tell people because they want to get that. And I'll tell you more about that. Then I want you to take a note of what are your skills and expertise? People like to hear what you're good at, and we listen so that we know how we can utilize your expertise. So always, 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 whether you have 15 years of experience, 10 years of experience, did you recognize that in my introduction, I gave you a little bit of insight of how long I've been doing what I'm doing. People want that and they'll eat it up every single time, okay? Next, I want you to make sure that your passions flow through your ears. There should be energy, energy, energy when you introduce yourself. If you say, yeah, I'm Keisha, and you're not gonna be that into me, you're not. So I want you to make sure that the passion is ringing through your ears when you're introducing yourself. And then I want you to ask for what you want. And see, this is the piece that people often miss. Now, I've been in sales for such a long time, but often people forget to ask for what it is that they need, right? And as you think about what you need, let me give you an example of this. I'm Keisha Kent, and I am in this space of diversity, equity, and inclusion. I'm an amazing speaker. I absolutely love teaching the power of networking. I'm an amazing talent leader. I can find a needle in a haystack. Tell me what you're looking for, I can find it. Who do you know that's looking for a dynamic speaker that can come in and move the crowd and give them some tips and tools along the journey? Bam, 30 seconds. And as you tweak it, think about your audience. Your audience will be who you need to look toward to make sure that you tweak it as you need to. I'm going to give you 2 seconds to screenshot this. Keep it, tweak it, and make sure you're asking for what you need. We don't know if you don't ask. And you know what? If you don't ask, we don't know. Thank you. What I want to do is I want you to get to a place right now where you're understanding the power of what it is that you're doing. Hold on, let me get to what I want you to do. I want to leave you here because when I think about understanding who you are, if you're not familiar with the Strengths Finder, this is what has helped me become the best version of me. And I stay in my strengths. And as you do that, you get an opportunity to win on purpose. I want to leave you with this. And I want you to always make sure that you ask questions, you create your goals, and you come back and you tell us what it is that you want to do in the process. I want you to get to this understanding of your secret sauce, because it's your secret sauce that's going to bring out all the truth of who you are. And you know what will happen? People connect to people and they listen and trust. You know that know, like, and trust factor, they do that. Okay, remember, at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. Thank you, fellow Toastmaster.
Wow, thank you. Woohoo.
Thank you very much for that inspirational speech. Now, any of you who have questions for Keisha, please put them in the chat, and our esteemed president, Tala, will coordinate the Q&A.
Thank you so much, Toastmasters.
Of course, go ahead.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much, Toastmaster Teresa. And thank you so much, our wonderful keynote speaker, Keisha. That was really an eye-opener. Like, every line of your presentation was filled with something that we could change about our lives. And that is absolutely wonderful. So there have been some comments. And the first comment is, your network is net worth. Reminds me of that observation. Look at your 5 closest friends, describe your own face. Oh, I wish that weren't true, but it is. Then Maya Catherine, herself a keynote speaker here, says, amazing. Our VP Education asks, how can we sniff out that secret sauce?
Is that really a question? So how can you sniff out the secret sauce? I think the underlying piece of that is really understanding what your strengths are. And then as you look into what your strengths are, you can start developing your own secret sauce. But so often people look to understand what our weaknesses are versus what our strengths are. But when we operate in that space of knowing what our strengths are, then we can say no to those things that no longer serve us, to those things that just fill up our plate. I'm typing that right in the chat right now, Rabia. And I want you to make sure that you think about what it is that you love, because we know what we love doing and we know what we don't love doing. But oftentimes they understand that you're good at a few things and they will sign you up, your plate's overflowing, and you don't even love what you're doing. But when you stay in your strengths, you have the ability to really operate at a higher level. Oh my gosh. And I'll tell you out loud, the acronym TEST, the T in TEST is for time. And the time you put in is the time you get out of everything that you do, right? If you don't practice your power statement, if you don't put time into it, if you don't build up your speaking as a Toastmaster, if you don't perfect your craft, if you don't if you're not taking action when it comes to networking, you won't have a network. You won't. The E is for energy. Energy is so real. When you're speaking with people, your passions, they should feel that energy from you. And when you're off and things aren't okay, it's okay to take a step back and say, you know what, Vic, I would love to show up. I'm just not at my best today. I won't be. Kathleen, I'll see you guys next time. If you're not 100%, it's easy to say that and not show up. And then the S is for secret sauce, because your secret sauce is your secret sauce. No one else can mimic it. They can't steal it. They can't take it. You can give them the blueprint and they can do absolutely nothing with it because it's not you. So give it away. And the last T is for truth. People are waiting to hear your truth and your story. Stories are what connect us. Tell your stories and remind people of even the triumphs that you've overcome, the trials that you've been through. As you tell that, you give someone else hope. Whoever is a DTM on here, raise your hand, because I need your number programmed in my phone and I need speed dial. I'm ready for it, but I really want to understand all of the pieces that come along. I've heard a lot of different things, but I really want to take this to the next level and go to DTM status. Thank you, guys.
Wow. That was beautiful. Again, it's okay not to be okay, and it's okay to tell people that you're not okay. That's so amazing, because so often we find ourselves just being pushed around needlessly at the cost of our own happiness, and we cannot keep ourselves happy and make others happy. And secondly, your secret sauce is your own. It's like your DNA or your fingerprints. That is something I've never heard before, because every speaker that I hear, they say to take your secret sauce from somewhere else, but your secret sauce is your own. So that was beautiful. We are running out of time. I think we have time for one more question. Anyone?
I see one in here that we missed. It said, did I miss the LinkedIn portion? And we breezed right.
Yeah.
The big piece about the LinkedIn tip is this: in your signature line in your email, use your LinkedIn link, put it in your signature line.
Yeah.
You know what people will do is they will click on it. And you can even say something like connect with me and use that. Put it in your signature line. It's a quick little easy way to have people to connect with you on LinkedIn.
Thank you so much. And I believe we are out of time for the Q&A, but anyone who wishes to ask something or send some beautiful comment to Keisha, please feel free to put that in the chat box. With that, I hand over the charge to our Toastmaster today, Teresa Cherry. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you very much. And this is 2-second warning. We are now on break for 5 minutes. So grab another cup of coffee or glass of water or whatever, and we'll see you back here in 5.
Thank you, Keisha. That was amazing.
I got a question.
Cynthia? Go ahead, Isaac.
Yeah, no, can you hear me okay? Because my computer's kind of acting up.
You're great.
Okay.
That was phenomenal, Keisha. You were worth the wait for months.
Felt like a year.
Yes, yes. And in the meantime, you were on Oprah Winfrey on her daily. What is it, Oprah Winfrey Daily? So how was that? Can you just describe that to us?
It was absolutely amazing. It was Oprah Daily, and I was on a panel speaking on diversity and how things have shifted during the pandemic and how we've had the opportunity to really connect more now than we've ever had it. It was absolutely amazing. The white glove service, amazing. Amazing. It was through Dress for Success. Dress for Success is one of the partners. I'm their global ambassador, so I get to really represent them in a lot of different media outlets that they're connected with to tell the mission and how we've overcome the trials. I was laid off at a time where it was tough, 2008-9, and the economy was jacked up, and it was tough. There was a lot of despair, but Dress for Success offers hope, plan, and resources. And when I found out their mission, I was like, I'm sold. So I've been connected for 10 years now. Great.
Awesome. And I did get a chance to see you on that. That was absolutely amazing.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm so connected, Cynthia. I'm so glad.
Awesome. Awesome. Enjoy your break. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes, and we're going to have some more amazing speakers. We're going to have Linda Patton and Maya Kaplan. So stay tuned.
Toastmaster Maya, I needed to ask you something about your project. Are you there? Wait for the wait for the
I'm sorry, Tyler. Were you speaking to me? This is Keisha.
No. I was speaking to the speaker who I'm supposed to get with, Toastmaster Maya Kaplan.
Oh, okay.
So nobody's. Yeah, nobody's. Yeah, yeah.
I'm
Hello.
here.
Yeah.
I'm here,
So
yes.
just needed to ask you. Will you focus on both body language and vocal variety in your project, or just vocal variety? Because the evaluation sheets are different for both.
Vocal variety.
All right, just the vocal variety, right? All right,
Yes.
thank you so much.
Okay, case in point, it's actually vocal variety and body language. It's part of the new level 1.
Yes,
Okay, because
actually,
it says or on yesterday when I looked at it, it says or. But
yeah, actually see, the speaker has a choice. They can focus on both. In that case, the evaluation sheet is different. And if they just choose to focus on the vocal variety, the evaluation sheet is in the form of a speech profile, which is slightly different too. Yeah. So that's why I needed to.
I didn't know that. So I learned something new today about the new pathways. Awesome.
Yeah.
I'm going to be focusing on vocal variety. I love it. I didn't know that was an option. Right.
Oh, yes, it is.
So you actually have to ask as the evaluator which they chose to focus on. That's good to know. Exactly. Yeah, that's a change.
Okay, our timer has reminded us that we are finished with break. Thank you, everybody. Hope you enjoyed that. And now I will introduce our timer once again. We're having 2 speeches that are 5 to 7 minutes. So how will you indicate the timing colors?
At the 5-minute juncture, the speaker will see a green light. At the 6-minute juncture, the speaker will see a yellow light. And at the 7-minute juncture, the speaker will see a red light, at which time the speaker will have 30 seconds to complete the speech or be disqualified from doing the most basic part of their speech, which is doing it within time. Back to you, Madame Toastmaster.
Thank you very much. Once again, our president will indicate the objectives for this speech and the path involved.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster. Today, Toastmaster Maya Catherine will be presenting the third project from the new level 1 of Pathways. Her pathway is presentation mastery. The project is Introduction to Vocal Variety in Body Language. Present a speech on any topic and use vocal variety or body language to enhance the speech. This member has chosen to only be evaluated on vocal variety for their speech. And just for members' knowledge, there's just a slight difference between two evaluation sheets. If you choose to focus on both, you will be presented with a conventional evaluation sheet, whereas if you just choose to focus on the vocal variety part, you will be presented with a customized evaluation sheet, which has a speech profile. So that is pretty much it. And I'll now ask our first master to introduce the speaker and the pattern.
Our first speaker today is Maya Catherine, and her speech is entitled, "You Didn't Break It, but You Have to Fix It." You didn't break it, but you have to fix it. Maya Catherine. I'll do it the other way. Maya Catherine, you didn't break it, but you have to fix it.
Thank you. Hey, you. Why can't you do your homework right? How many times does your teacher have to call me to complain that you keep messing up your assignments? Are you just that stupid? All this money I'm spending on you for school, and this is what I get? Do you remember this, little girl? How did it make you feel? Did it make you feel like you were not good enough? Did it make you feel like you were not special? And you, 30-something woman, do you feel your coworkers are smarter than you at work? Could it be that you're still carrying that pain from childhood? Could it be that you're still carrying that burden? Who broke you, little girl? And more importantly, who's gonna fix you? What about you over there? Why are you on the team anyway? You can hardly lift anything, let alone wrestle. I don't know what you're doing here. Oh, I get it. You're here because your dad is the mayor. Guess somebody put a placeholder trying to get a favor later. You're such a drag on the team. How can you be so skinny? Look at you. Hey, what about you over there, little boy? How did that make you feel? Did it make you feel weak? Did it make you feel unworthy? And you over there, 30-year-old something, why are you in the gym 24/7 trying to bulk up? Why are you so obsessed with the way you look? Could it be that you're still trying to show the team that you are worthy? Are you still carrying that pain from childhood? Are you still carrying that burden? Who broke you, little boy? But more importantly, who is gonna fix you? Is that you who were called ugly as a child and now cannot leave home without putting full makeup on? Is that you who were excluded from friends group and now joined the golf team, a sport that you hate, just to be accepted? Is that you, the wannabe cook that just went to medical school to please your parents, but are just miserable there? I'm sorry to tell you all, and I'm sorry to have to break it to you that way, but no one is coming to fix the mess inside you that they caused. Somebody else broke you, but no one is coming to fix you. No, dear, that is something you have to do for yourself. I know what you're saying. Oh my God, it's not fair. I understand. And sometimes life is not fair. I don't know how to explain it. But what I know is that the moment you take responsibility for your life, the moment you decide to break you, even when you didn't break you, everything changes. All of a sudden, the people, places, and things that you need to heal you come to you. All of a sudden, you can release the pain, the sleepless nights, the worry, the anguish that you've been carrying with you. It's not fair, but it is something you need to do for you. And oh my God, does it open doors? Does it bring you joy? Does it bring you empowerment? You didn't break you, but no one's coming to save you, so you better fix you. You better break the chains, even if you didn't put the chains. That is self-love. That is what's gonna get you back from the floor, from the misery, from feeling horrible about yourself. That is what it takes to get out of the angst that you are. And you deserve it because you are worthy. So no, you didn't break you. No, you didn't cause all this damage. No, you didn't make yourself feel unworthy. No, you're not the reason why you feel that you're ugly. No, you're not the reason why you feel stupid. But you have to fix you. I know it because I had to do it for myself. And boy, does it feel good when you are on the other side. You didn't break you, but you have to fix you. And I guarantee you, the moment you start, life will change in ways more amazing than you could ever imagined. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you so very much for that. I glitched out for a minute and didn't get your conclusion. But wow, lovely. Let's take a minute to share some comments with our speaker, and then we'll move on. Thank you.
Absolutely love the encouragement and the reminder. And you're right. Those people are doing whatever they're doing. And it's up to us to make sure that we take time for us. Thank you for that reminder today. Thank you, Maya.
I'll call it. That's a minute. Thank you very much, everyone, for participating and your support of Maya Catherine. Once again, I will ask Victor Irving Jenkins to remind us about the timing for 5 to 7 minute speeches. He's still writing to you.
In a 5 to 7 minute speech, you will see the green stoplight at 5 minutes. At 6 minutes, you will see the yellow stoplight at 6 minutes. And at 7 minutes, you will see the red stoplight, at which point you will have 30 seconds with which to complete your speech. or be disqualified from giving a timely speech. Back to you, Madame Toastmaster.
Thank you again. And today I would like to introduce our second evaluator, to introduce our second speaker, Isaac Ford.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Linda Patton will be speaking from the Strategic Relationship, Level 1, Project 2, Writing a Speech with Purpose. Deliver an effective, well-defined speech on a narrow enough topic. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you. As Isaac said, our second speaker is Linda Patton. Her speech is entitled, "Yikes, I'm Speaking. What Do I Say?" Let me get this right. Yikes, I'm speaking. What do I say? Linda Patton. Linda Patton. Yikes, I'm speaking. What do I say?
Yikes. Once again, I've been asked to speak in front of my Toastmasters group. Not only this one, but 13 others that are in Division G who are now my responsibility as well. What am I going to say? Where am I going to start? What's important for them to know? I loved Keisha's speech today because there's many things about networking and network marketing and all that that we can learn from what she spoke on. But that's not where I'm going. I racked my head. I pulled my hair out. What the heck can I do? And I thought, what about, I did planning and organizing as a keynote last month. Why don't I take it into what does it take to plan a speech? What does it take to decide where in the world you're going to go for this particular conference? What are the things that you need to consider as you're building this plan? And that's the purpose of this speech, is to dig a little bit deeper in the planning and organizing, a little bit in the implementation, and a very light touch on the closing of a conference or meeting. Okay, let's get started. Now that I know what my purpose is and what I'm going to do, this should be easy, right? Okay, you heard Isaac say a speech that fits in 5 to 7 minutes. Well, we're going to see if that happens. And thank you, Victor, for being my timer and keeping me honest on the stage. Planning and organization, something I dearly love to do. Gantt charts, network diagrams, lists, pros, cons, visits. Oh, I got to do so much of that and it felt so good. I loved when the organization had like 3 different places that we could look at. We could go to Rome, we could go to Paris, we could go to Scotland. Which one do we want to do? And to be able to study and look at it, see what kinds of stuff we could do as far as a location is concerned. What was interesting was when we went overseas, we always worked with the university that was there. So we didn't have to worry about location, because the college and university would give us that location. Where we got to play was, where are people going to stay? Where are they going to eat? And what fun can they have in between presentations? And for our senior doctors, where could they get away from the conference? What would be exciting for them to do? Because they did all their speeches in the first 2 days, and all of the graduate students had their speeches at the end of the conference. I remember being in Barcelona, and this building used to be part of the medical center, and it had these long corridors. And I watched as this pair of students came walking up to where I was at registration. Mrs. Patton, I don't understand. We don't have anybody in our room. Who's going to be there to evaluate us? We have a presentation on our doctoral paper, and we need somebody to evaluate us. Where are all the senior professors? They're definitely not here in this building. That was one of the sad things, when even their advisor couldn't show up for their presentation. I wanted to take that whole mess and basically throw it up in the air, and wherever the presentations fell, that's where they spoke. But the senior professors had their way, and that's the way it had always been. That's the way it always worked. And what they said was, these people will be able to grow as they get more experience, and eventually they'll be able to speak on the first few days, and the rest of the time running off and playing in Barcelona. So definition and planning really has to do with location, location, location. It's how often do you as the planner want to go visit the various places to decide what's the hotel, what's the college or university you're going to be working with, how are you going to set it up, what rooms are you going to have, what AV do you require? And then you get to play with, what are we going to do for the awards banquet? What are we going to do for the welcome cocktail hour? Where are we going to put the big book exhibit? What things would you like to have as far as tours? Does anybody play golf, by the way? Oh, no, professors don't play golf. That's military officers who play golf. Those are the kinds of things that we got to do and got to plan in the planning and definition of the program. It was the place that I loved to be, because then I could have my flip charts up on the wall and mark in them what we were doing, where we were going, and how much it was going to cost and all that. I had hordes of those. Actually hitting on the ground had its own potential problem analysis. What could go wrong? And what was interesting was we were in Lund, Sweden. We had a couple things happen. We took a boat ride in a thunderstorm at night. We got off, we landed, it's still soaking wet. I had one of my professors come up to me and she goes, couldn't you have done something about the weather? Did it have to rain today? I go, you know, I'm so very sorry, but the button to push to turn off the rain just wasn't there. Those were the kinds of really strange questions I'd get from individuals. We also had to make sure that all of our senior lecturers and professors, if they had something special or they had coat hangers with them or whatever it might be, that they were all on a different plan than everybody else in the conference. We did a potential problem analysis to make sure that we knew what might come up, and we could plan for how we'd eliminate it, and also what would happen if it happened anyhow. And sometimes it did. For example, when we were in Canada, we thought we'd covered everything. We had Canada Day covered. We didn't think we had to cover 4th of July, but it turned out we did. And so our program books didn't show up. What did we do? We improvised. And they really loved those books more than any other ones that we've done. So at the end of any conference or any plan, you need to sit back and close it and evaluate it, as we will do with this speech. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Oops. Well done. Thank you so very much. Now, let's see. We will take a minute to share our comments with Linda Patton.
Linda, I just want to say this.
Yes, Ms. Keisha.
It is Keisha. When you shared that story, I could see that I was there when you were telling that story, which is the most important piece, is to take us with you. So thank you for taking us with you.
Thank you.
Thank you for that lovely comment. Closing out our 1 minute of support. And oops, there we go. That's what I get for putting tones on my phone. In any case, we will now move on to the segment of our meeting that will give you the opportunity to practice extemporaneous speaking in answer to some insightful questions being put to us by our member, Marlon Parejo. Marlon, Table Topics is all yours.
And
Thank
pardon
you.
me, may I just
Absolutely.
make a comment that I am going to be Marlon's service animal because Marlon is totally blind and he is showing us how it's done through our imaginations. And I'm going to help him out identifying guests for him to call on. So I just wanted to let everyone know that. Yeah, isn't that amazing, Keisha? This guy's a killer.
Yes, I love how she said killer. It sounds like a sort of a New York accent. Anyway, thank you very much, Madam Toastmaster of the meeting, and to my service Toastmaster as well. Table Topics is that segment of the Toastmasters meeting where we learn to speak off the cuff. Sometimes you have a mic stuck in your face and they want you to give a 2-minute speech on this or mention something about that, and then you freeze up. Table Topics, doing it often, gives you that confidence and that skill in order to create a 1 to 2 minute speech straight off the top of your head. Now, whilst we are on that, this particular Table Topics will be quite exceptional in that, are you aware, for persons who will know that of the world champion of public speaking, a lot of public speaking champions, their winning speech has an element of singing in it. So you know what that means. Yes, I heard somebody say singing. Yes, that means that this particular Table Topics, you will get a phrase, you will speak for 1 to 2 minutes on the phrase, but also you will be required to sing the appropriate song that goes with it. Let me give you an example. I would be saying things like, let's say, I don't want to be a good speaker. I don't even want to be a great speaker. I want to be an unforgettable speaker. Unforgettable, that's what I am. So it's something like that. And guess what? If you do not know the song, even better. So with that in mind, Madam Service Toastmaster, let me know who is my first Emmy Award, Grammy Award winner. Yes.
Well, we do want to call on guests, but I would also
Not
like,
yet.
yes, I think you would like to address your first question to Mr. Victor Irving Jenkins. What do you think?
I think that would be sublime. Mr. Victor, you are aware that the word of the day is community. So the question for you is, what does the term community mean to you? And your song is We Are the World by various artists. Take it away, Victor.
Some of the times when we all must help a hand and the world will come together as one. There are people dying. And of course, I cannot remember the rest of the song. So you have been relieved of the experience of having me sing nonstop for 2 minutes. What does community mean to me? Community is a group of human beings that have only their desire to be with one another in common. They could be all of one sex, they could be all of one color, they could be all of one nationality, they could be all of anything, but they call themselves a community. Sometimes a community has the detriment because if you belong to the community, you're going to embrace what you think the community stands for. So if your community stands for goodness and you are facing a situation where you have to choose to be good or not be good, because you are in that community, you are going to be good. So communities have pluses as well as minuses. Any community of which I am a part, you better believe it's going to be top heavy with pluses. Like for instance, I am a member of a community that has no idea how long it takes for 2 minutes to go by. So as I'm doing my table topics selection and speaking, I have to use my imagination to figure out when the 2 minutes is up. Because I'm the timer, right? I'm the timer and I'm good, I'm talented, but I am not yet able to do a table topics participation and keep time simultaneously. So be glad that you are watching me have this experience rather than you have this experience yourself. Because there's a certain amount of embarrassment that occurs when you don't do things like you think they ought to be done. But alas, the other community I'm in don't have time to be embarrassed. I just have time to rock the house, ladies and gentlemen, as I have done for you. So carry on, Mr. Table Topics Master, and don't you forget this participation. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Distinguished Toastmaster Victor Irvin Jenkins. You are indeed an exceptional Toastmaster. Singing, not so much. But you know what? Let's go. Let's go on to our next responder. So,
Okay, Mr. Table Topics Master. And speaking of time, I want to let everyone know that we are given a generous amount of time. We have a hard stop at 27 minutes after the hour, but we don't have to stay that long. It's up to you, Mr. Table Topics Master, but I did want to let you know that we do have a generous amount of time. And would you like to call on a guest now?
maybe if you give the guests one more to see what's happening, and then you can get them. Give them enough time. I think they'll appreciate it.
Excellent. That's a wise idea. I would like to call Sally Reyes.
Yes.
Oh, yes. Yes, Sally. So this is your question, Sally.
Yes.
There is a saying: if you want to go fast, go by yourself. But if you want to go far, go together. If you want to go fast, go by yourself. But if you want to go far, go together. And your song is Lean on Me by Bill Withers. Take it away, Sally.
I love that expression, and I always choose together. And my song, to dream the impossible dream, to fight the unbeatable foe, to bear with unbearable sorrow, to run where the brave dare not go. So I think that the community that we are in is a joy, a dependability, and learning experience. And I think you guys are all the top, the cream on the top. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sally. Although you did miss the song was Lean on Me. It goes like this, Lean on Me, but that's okay. You did perform wonderfully. A lot better than Victor.
I couldn't bring that one in, but
Okay,
I can bring another one.
Okay, so may I have a guest, please?
Guest Keisha is always ready to share.
Keisha? All right.
Thank you, Marlon.
Hi. Now, in my country, well, I guess in a lot of countries, but in my country, there's a saying that one tiger is no match for a pack of wolves. One tiger is no match for a pack of wolves. And it just so happens that your song is Eye of the Tiger by Survivor.
Another song, Marlon. Pick me another song. Wait, Eye of the Tiger, Eye of the Tiger, Eye of the Tiger. That's all I know. And when I think about the word community and what community means to me, the biggest thing that comes to mind around community is being able to break bread at the table. When I think of breaking bread, I think of us sharing ideas, us sharing recipes, us sharing resources, us sharing our networks, us coming together in a way where we get to build one another up, which reminds me of the village. And the village that I grew up in, that village is still strong today. And those women that are in the village are in their 80s and 90s today. And as they've grown up with all of their wisdom, I pay attention to how the wisdom has been transferred to my daughters and how I get to transfer what I've been taught to them and to my community as I look at all of those pieces and how they're all so necessary. Community for me is breaking bread at the table. And if you're not breaking bread at the table, get to that table and break some bread and build a community. Back to you, Table Topics Master.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Keisha. Although your question was one tiger is no match for a pack of wolves, but we'll allow you to slide this time. Can I have another guest?
Yes, Atifa is ready to share community and song.
May I have one condition, please? Because I'm not very familiar with all the songs, but I'll sing something matching, if I may be allowed.
No problem, no problem.
Thank
What
you.
is the most exciting thing about you? What is the most exciting thing about you? And you're the only one with the leeway to choose any song that you want.
Lovely. So the song that shows my excitement today would be something that's on everybody's lips. I hope so, at least, because it's trending all over the internet. And it's I'm Unstoppable. So it goes something like this. I'm unstoppable, like a Porsche with no brakes. I'm invincible. I win every single game. I'm so powerful. Don't need batteries to play. I'm so confident. I'm unstoppable today. So exciting about me is this feeling of unstoppableness. I very well realize that just as our DNA, as has been pointed out by speaker before me, Keisha, is unique. So also all our talents and potentialities are unique and immense. They are just waiting for them to be tapped, for for them to be unveiled with confidence and with faith in God. So, being the crown of creation, we must be aware that we have something special in us. We should not allow the world to put us down. Like another speaker pointed out, that people break us all the time. But in spite of that, to be confident that if my fingerprint, if my DNA can be unique, then there is something more unique in me also. And I need to capitalize on that and use it as my gift to the world. So that's what keeps me excited, although now I'm going to be 50 soon. And it doesn't matter. I feel great things are ahead. Thank you so much.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. And you know what? I think I want to see Cynthia start for this one.
Yes. Absolutely.
Cyn-
Thank you.
Distinguished Toastmaster Cynthia Stott, what can you do to make your Toastmasters meeting rock? What can you do to make your Toastmasters meeting rock? And your song is, dare I say, We Will Rock You by Queen.
Great. I love Queen. We will sing it with me, rock you. We will rock you. We will rock you. And that's the key. That's the absolute key. We will rock you. We make this amazing Toastmasters meeting what it is. So what I can do is to use my superpower of being a global visibility influencer and stretch out there and bring in more people that are going to rock this stage. People that are brand new to Toastmasters, people are brand new to speaking. They've never spoken and shared their passion on the stage. People that are advanced Toastmasters that have been in Toastmasters for years, but they give us a stability and a leadership that we can grow and be different and be unique and rock this stage. We will rock it together. Together we go far. And I always say that we're building this rocket ship. And we have built this rocket ship, we have loaded this rocket ship, and we're launching it out. But we're not only just a rocket ship, we are a mothership to launch many rocket ships all over the globe. I'm Cynthia, and I'm complete.
Marlon, are you complete as well?
Oh no, I'm not complete as yet. Was Cynthia doing the head nod? I just wanted to make sure. Was she doing the head nod?
Sorry about that. Back to you, Mr. Table Topics Master Marlon Perea. Woohoo! Sorry, I was in my clubhouse mode.
Speaker in your default speaker head.
I was wondering if you were doing the head nod that they did.
All right, let me just get on to drafts 20 text headed Finder Dictionary DEVO and Launchbar keyboard mic text expand Zoom.us. Currently unmuted.
I got bumped over there for can you all hear me?
Yes, we hear you, Marlon.
It's all right. So now, is there anyone in the club that is probably, below 30 maybe?
I wonder if Cassandra Garabedian would like to answer a Table Topics question.
Sure. What's the question?
Wonderful. So you have the distinct honor of motivating a young Toastmaster through his or her icebreaker speech. You have 1 to 2 minutes to motivate a young Toastmaster through the icebreaker speech. And your song is Try by Pink.
I don't know the song.
That's okay. That's even better. You can make it up.
Okay. Oh gosh. Try. I want you to try. Just try. Try if you can. I want you to try. Just try. Try. You have the ability to walk into the light. So I just want you to try. Just try. And you'll see. Toastmasters will open the door for you to see. Toastmasters is the way to open dreams, your ability to see just who you are. It's open possibilities, many possibilities to who you are. Dreams do happen through Toastmasters.
Currently unmuted.
Thank you very much for that. Cassandra the musical. Yes. I loved it immensely. Is the president here? I can't.
Yeah.
I was made aware that he has a wonderful singing voice. So, Mr. President, this is your task. You can choose whatever song you want, but you must motivate the one blind Toastmaster in your club who believes that he cannot be a Toastmaster. 1 to 2 minutes, one blind Toastmaster in your club who believes he cannot be a Toastmaster because he's blind, and you can choose the song that you want. Take it away, Mr. President.
Wow. Thank you so much. First of all, I refuse to believe that you're blind. You have time and again demonstrated that you see perhaps better than most of us do. You don't need eyes to see. You don't need eyes to see at all. You need a heart to see for the word that is truly there. You need a heart to see the love of others. And you need a heart to spread love to others. And you are doing all of that. What do you need eyes for? I wonder. And as for being a Toastmaster, I believe that most of us are born blind. And only gradually our eyes are opened to serving others and the love that is inherent in this world. Why would you be any different? Because we don't need eyes to see that love and feel that love. And as for the song, we are in this together. And I'll go with my favorite song from my favorite band, 9 Inch Nails. We'll go deep. We're in this together now. None of us can stop us now. We will make it through somehow. You and me, even after everything. We're gonna be there back again. We're gonna be there back again.
Currently unmuted.
Over to you, Mr. Table Topics Master.
Yes, hello Disney. Yes, Disney. I think we have our lead singer for High School Musical 4. Yes, we have our lead singer. Is President of my club. Yes. He will be the person singing in Disney. Yes, right. Okay, so Mr. President, Disney will give you a call quite soon. Yes. So now let's see, who else do I have?
Ms. Rosemary Sweeney cannot turn on her video, but she would be happy to contribute her contribution to the community.
Wonderful. So this is the question I have for you, distinguished Toastmaster Rosemary Sweeney of Caribbean. I think it's an island in the Caribbean. I think is it the Dominican Republic? I can't remember.
No, just Commonwealth of Dominica.
Yeah, hear the accent. Mhm. So you are going to use your 1 to 2 minutes to convince a Toastmaster not to leave the club. And your song is What's Love Gotta Do With It by Tina Turner.
Could you repeat the question, please?
Currently unmuted.
Oh, I love that trick. I love that trick. Yes, do enough time to think about it. Yes, I am from the Caribbean too, so I know about that trick already. Repeat, okay. So you are going to convince a Toastmaster not to leave the club, and your song is What's Love Got to Do With It by Tina Turner.
Okay. Okay. Hi, why aren't you playing your dues? We are in the dues season now and we would need you to pay the dues. But you're saying that you no longer want to be part of our club. Do you know that we are a community where we love each other and we are going to miss you? We are going to miss the good times we have with you. So I am encouraging you to continue investing in yourself and continue being with us, because one part of our link is missing. It is going to hurt our hearts. We love you and we know that you love us too. So continue being with us. What's love gonna do with it? Do with it? What's love in a heart that can be broken? We really love you. We need you to be with us. And we would like to encourage you. If it is anything we can work with you, we can help you. We would like you to be there with us and continue being part of our team, because you build us up and you make our team awesome. Mr. Table Topic Master.
Thank you very much, Rosemary. And I can assure you that Tina Turner has promised not to sue. Okay, how much time do I have again?
Our schedule requires us that we change from this part of the communal celebration and go on to the evaluations portion of the meeting. So, Mr. Crazy Table Topics Master, that was fun.
Thank you very much. And now I will end by saying, and now the end is near, and so I face the final curtain. And Cynthia and all those other crazy Toastmasters who are singing, it's really ridiculous. And I know that when I walk, I might see Victor on a horse by the highway. But I did my table topics. I did it my way. Toastmaster of the meeting.
Oh my goodness. How much I had no idea the talents that we have in this club. Thank you so very much for that, Marlon. It was inspiring and my goodness, yes. And I'm so grateful you didn't call on me. Thank you so very, very much. And now we move into the presentation by our general evaluator, who will also evaluate the way this entire club and the entire meeting is going. But first, you will move into the evaluations of our speakers. So Gary, the floor is yours. Please close us out with style. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Madam Toastmaster. And at this point, we're going to get an opportunity to listen to the evaluations of the speeches that were given today. But prior to that, I would like to have our good friend Victor to share with us the evaluation times for the evaluations. Victor.
An evaluation is a 2 to 3 minute talk, and at the 2-minute juncture, the speaker will see the green light. At the 2 minutes and 30 seconds juncture, the speaker will see the yellow light. And at the 3-minute juncture, the speaker will see the red light, at which time the speaker will have 30 seconds with which to complete the evaluation or be disqualified as far as time goes. Back to you, Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you very much, Victor. And the first person I'd like to introduce is our first evaluator, our president, Tala. Tala, if you would please share your evaluation of our first speech from Maya.
Thank you so much, General Evaluator. Oh my God. It is so unfair that your project lasted just 5 to 7 minutes. And I have just 2 to 3 minutes to unpack it, but I'll try my best. First of all, you had an attention-grabbing start. Hey boy, hey girl, you grab each one of us, the scared little boy and little girl that we still have in our hearts. You grab them and you actually address each one of us. So very successful stuff. Secondly, in your voice and in your face, there was sincerity. You have a very naturally soothing voice, and you had clarity, and you had an absolutely melodic tone, which is an advantage which you should be using more often. And the idea of the whole speech, the monologue, was fantastic. It was unique. It was poetic. It was very daring of you for you to attempt such a thing in your very first level. So congratulations on that. Love the idea. Now, a few improvement areas. First of all, when you started with the scolding, hey, you, what do you think you're doing? You could have scolded a little bit more. There's a whole debate in Toastmasters about whether you should play the character or be the character, but you erred more towards caution. You could have let yourself loose. And how would that be? Just do what I'm doing right now. You could have stood up, because standing up amplifies your emotions, amplifies your movement. It breaks something inside of you free. And I'm just standing up to demonstrate that for you. Secondly, your speech had a slight bit of repetition. If you could have varied your tone and dialogues between various characters that you were portraying, it would have had far more impact. Thirdly, even though you were not focused on body language, you were just focused on vocal variety, even then, a little bit of movement here and there to distinguish between the various stages of your speech would have been welcome. And finally, you could have added a little bit of conclusion, a little bit of a takeaway, because you had plenty of time. I believe you ended on the green light, although I may be wrong about that, but you were certainly not on the red light. So you could have added a little bit of a bookend to your speech. To challenge yourself, again, if you could have stood up, it would have amplified your speech a little bit more. You had the emotions, you had the sincerity, you had the courage to try something, and that was coming right from your heart. It was slightly, a little bit undersold by you remaining within certain bounds of vocal variety. Although it was there, it was perhaps not amplified enough at certain points. So absolutely fantastic job. It's a totally unique project. And I really admire your courage, your poetic ear towards writing that, and your melodic delivery. A few improvement areas could have taken it even further. Looking forward to more speeches from you. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you very much, Tala, for that very specific and wonderful evaluation. I'd like to introduce our second evaluator, Isaac Ford, who is evaluating Linda Patton's speech today. Isaac, take it away.
Thank you for that, Mr. GM. Linda Patton. Linda, you opened with a lot of energy and you were very animated. Your gestures were right on time. And the thing that you did great, because this was an informational speech, and you used the basic format, which is tell us what you're going to tell us, and then tell us what you told us. And you did that because it's obvious you know what you're talking about. So you're making it hard on me, Linda, but I'm going to try to give you some stretch goals. Now, the one thing that I really like or for you to think about, it's going to push you out of your comfort zone a little bit, but add a little humor to your speech. I don't know, just, maybe a funny story that you've heard or while, in a seminar that you were giving. So that's the stretch move. Just try to add a little humor. And then I guess the one point I would like to make is look into that camera a little more, because you had a tendency to kind of look to the left, but I knew you knew where the eye of the camera was, because you would occasionally look into it. And when you had points that you wanted to make, I would love for you to just walk up and make that point, use it a little more. But you wrapped it up with a great summary, and you obviously know what you're talking about. So I thoroughly enjoyed your speech, and your gestures were off the hook today. I don't know, you're probably just getting better with it. So great speech, and I learned a lot, and I always look forward to your speeches. Back to you, Mr. GE.
Thank you very much, Isaac. And at this point of our program, I want to go back to our timer, Victor, to give us his report on the timing of today's speeches.
Everyone met the timing requirements in every phase of the meeting except one. One of our table topics participants did not make the 1 minute mark. Otherwise, stellar performance by those people who were governed by the timing constraints. Back to you, Mr. Journal Evaluator.
Thank you very much, Victor. And next, we'd like to go and see how well we did on our speech as a community, and that would be Sally Reyes. If you would give us the reports on the word of the day, good language, filler words, etc., etc.
Thank you. I didn't quite notice any outstanding, unusual words, but all the speeches were really right on and tight. As we didn't start out using the word community as often, but when it came to our last additions for table topics, I got a lot of responses for that, or he did, because Marlon used it 3 times, Kathleen twice, Keisha 3 times, Desha once, Teresa once, Tala twice, Victor 8 times, Sally once, Cynthia once, and that's it. And thank you all. I think people put their speeches together so well, there wasn't a lot of lost words used at all. We're really moving away from that. And I'm proud of them for doing it.
All right. Well, thank you very much for that, Sally. Appreciate it. And overall, the meeting was excellent. One of our most fun meetings, I feel. And the speeches were all fabulous. First of all, we did get started on time. And we were even ahead on time until table topics. And at that point, Kathleen did an excellent job of making sure that we stayed on track with the agenda and not go over time. So thank you very much for that, Kathleen. Excellent job. Everybody fulfilled their roles. Everybody showed up as they had promised, which is wonderful. And the contribution from each of the speakers was wonderful. Keisha, I thoroughly enjoyed your speech and the acronym test, and also what we should use for our 30-minute elevator speech. So thank you very much for that. And then regarding our evaluators, they did a fabulous job of really grabbing the essence of the speeches that were given today, in addition to some very creative feedback. and both did just an excellent job on their evaluations. And as a main highlight, I certainly can't go without commenting on Marlon, who had really presented the most creative table topics I have ever heard. And not only was it creative, Nat, but it was fun. And everybody had a great job. Thank goodness I didn't have to sing. But anyways, it was wonderful. I think this was an excellent meeting, and I would like to turn it back over to our Toastmaster of the day, Teresa Cherry.
Thank you so very much. We are now ready to step up for our roles for the next meeting. So, Kathleen, you're up, our esteemed VPE. And you need to unmute yourself, honey.
There we are. Thank you, esteemed Toastmaster of the day, doing it with style in community. And for our upcoming meeting, that is the 10th of October. At this time slot, we have an open slate. We have an open slot for speakers. We have all the functionary role players, everybody. So I would like to ask you, do you plan to be here at this upcoming time slot? And would you like to be a speaker, a Toastmaster, an evaluator? For instance, Toastmaster of the day, Teresa Cherry, you were marvelous at your role this
Thank you.
week.
I was just going to say I will not be here all of October. However, I will come back in November, and then I will be signing up for roles right and left, particularly speaking roles.
Oh, good. Glad to hear that.
So my apologies to you all. I will miss you all, but.
Well, we wish you good travels wherever you are planning.
Thank you very much.
Atifa, I see you looking very interested. Would you like to be a speaker? And I will help you join between now and then. Would you like to speak as your first role in Leaders Worldwide? Oh, you're muted, dear.
I'd love to take a speaker role. I just had the question whether a guest can be a speaker.
No, not for these roles. For the keynote, we did have some guests, but we can. You said that you wanted to be a member,
yes,
so we'll sign you up. Yeah, we have 2 weeks to do it. Would that be okay?
Yeah, I'm just considering the time. Like right now, it's 1:10 or 1:15 a.m. So that is the only hurdle, you know. Like my whole family's asleep, and I'll have to lose my sleep. Because I want to be very regular, and because I'm really aspiring for the speech contest and go higher up.
Yes,
So
and
that's
ours
why I want
January
to be
16. We're already scheduled for our contest on January 16th.
Yeah.
So yeah, great.
The timing is a bit of an issue with me, so I'll have to work it on my head. Because right now it's 1:15 a.m. and my entire family is asleep.
And what?
Okay, so the other time slot would be early to mid morning for you, Atifa.
Yeah, that's okay. That's 6 a.m.
The next day.
If you're in India, that would be I believe 6:30 a.m.
Right. That works fine for me. but this one
Yeah.
is a bit of an issue.
Yes.
And I'll have to miss my dinner with the family and
Yes.
going to bed with the
Yes.
family. So that is what I'm just juggling. Just give me a little bit more time on that, please.
Okay, then we'll talk
Definitely.
offline about when you want to join, and we'll help you sign up for a speech then too. Because you look
Thank
like
you
you
so
want to jump right in.
I really do. I really love your company and you're so jolly. I really love that about you as well,
Oh, awesome. Back to you, Madam BPE.
All right. So Maya Catherine, I would like to ask you, are you going to come to this time slot on the 10th of October? And would you like to be an evaluator, or you could step into a general evaluator or a role of your choice?
Hi, October, I'm not around. I told Cynthia a while ago. So yeah, I think the only time I have here is maybe the 5th or something. Other than that, I'm not around. I don't even know if I have the 5th, so sorry. But then as of November, I'll be back on track.
Oh, good. Okay, well, we'll be waiting. The community will be waiting for you.
Okay, no problem. Thank you so much.
Linda Patton, would you care to be the Toastmaster of the day on October 10th?
I could do that.
Excellent. You can do anything, girlfriend.
Well, some people would say I can't.
And Gary Howarth, do you think you can look forward 2 weeks to plan to come and serve in a role? Would you like to speak, Gary? In 2 weeks.
Gary.
And Mr. President, our beautiful president, you plan to come. You love to come. I'm always honored with your dedication. Would you like to choose a role? Would you like to
certainly.
speak?
Yeah, I would like to speak if there's a slot. All
We
right.
have a slot for Talha.
And I would also, if possible, if there's any other role like Grammarian or Timer, I'd like to play that. No worries.
Thank you so much. I tell you, you amaze me. I know that word is tiresome, but sometimes it just has to be used. Not tiresome, but overused. Gets tired. And Mr.
Kathleen?
Isaac Ford.
Kathleen, Cynthia has her hand up.
I'm sorry. Hi, Cynthia.
Great. Alpana will be back from Europe next week. And so I think we can sign her up for a speaker role. She has several speeches she needs to get through for level 1. So let's tentatively put her in as the other speaker, and then we'll follow up with her this week. I'll follow up.
Okay.
Alpana RS King. Great.
And Isaac.
Sure. What would you have me to do?
General evaluator?
Yeah, I can do that.
Thank you. You are an excellent general evaluator. Cassandra, how are you doing these days? Do you think you're going to be coming on October 10th? Would you care to do table topics?
Mute myself there. Let me take a look at my calendar right quick.
All righty.
I want to tell you something and then I'm not here.
Yes, thank you.
Sally going to be the grammarian that day?
Yep, that's me.
Okay. Well, thank you, Gary. And
Why don't you just-
I will be connecting with you to see if you will fill a role, but it was wonderful, your contribution today. You are also an excellent general evaluator. Give us insight into, you help us reflect on our performance.
It doesn't look like I have anything down, so go ahead and put me down. And
All
what is
right,
that
table
for?
topics.
October 10th, table
Yes.
topics.
Yes. So we'll be letting you know the theme and so on as we go. I'm so glad about that. All right.
And that
only
falls
have,
up- I'm sorry, is that in the evening or morning?
that is 11 o'clock California time.
Thank you.
11 a.m. California time. And Marlon, I would like to ask you if you would want to be an evaluator.
Currently
On,
unmuted.
I can evaluate and do a speech.
we won't have an evaluation, excuse me, we won't have a speaking slot on that day, but you and I will connect to arrange for your next speaking slot. How's that, Mr.
okay.
Crazy Table Topics Master?
You mean Crazy Table Topics guy? Yeah, that I'll take.
Guy.
Sure, no problem. Who I have to evaluate? Yeah.
We will have you, I have you evaluating Talha bin Hamid.
Oh, that would be delightful.
Isn't that a fortunate position?
Oh, yes.
All right, my friends, and I would like now to turn it over to turn the lectern over to our president, Mr. Talha, for takeaways and announcements.
Thank you so much, everyone. So I believe we have the announcements part covered, but there's a business meeting in District 57 coming up. So, and that is coming Friday, if I'm correct. So that is one thing. Other than that, I don't think there's any significant announcement, Madam VPE, with regard to the club. But yes, there is one announcement. Yes, yes. We are approaching our 2nd anniversary. And yeah. And I'll let DTM Cynthia start do the honor as the founder of the club.
Oh, thank you, Tala. Oh, amazing. We have something brewing for you on October 24th. That is our 2nd anniversary. We were founded on October 23, 2020. And so we're hoping to have one of the Toastmasters celebrities, and he is an international director. We won't give his name away yet. He will be visiting us. And we're also going to make it a joint club between one of the Pakistan or more of the Pakistan clubs and our club at Leaders Worldwide, and that's so that the international director can join us, because we want to make it so that he's able to speak with us. And then we are crafting a very special keynote speaker. So that's going to be on October 24th, and that is the 4th Monday of the month. So I believe, if somebody can check the date, I think that's an afternoon session at 10:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. Pacific, the same time slot we're doing now. So fabulous, looking forward to it.
Yes, everyone get excited, because yes, it will be a joint meeting with Karachi.
You're muted,
Yeah.
Talha.
Apologies. So yeah, so there's plenty to get excited about, because it will be a 2nd anniversary. There's also something to be excited about right now, because next meeting will be our 100th meeting, and we should mark it somehow at least. And the joint meeting will be with Karachi Toastmasters Club. It will be in the same time slot, and it will be last, because for the simple reason that I happen to be the VP Education for Karachi Toastmasters Club. So obviously, I have to, it's my job to say that it will be blessed. So it puts me in the unique position of being the president of this club and the VP Education of that club. So obviously, this has to be the best meeting in the history of ever, right? So with that announcement, we have precious little time. So I'll just be inviting maybe a couple of our guests for takeaways. What did you take away from this meeting? And we will perhaps offer you something special. So guest Keisha, our keynote speaker, you gave us plenty, but what are you taking away from this?
Absolutely. I was getting ready to type it in the chat, but I would love to share with you all. I love how everything comes together and everyone plays an amazing part here. And you can see how everything comes together. I see the community here, which is so important to really make that machine just be smooth, be a smooth running machine. It really works well together. And I love the diversity. I've said that earlier. The diversity is super important for me. I feel that I could be welcomed here. There's people that look like me. There's people that don't look like me. We talk about the power of our networks when they're diverse. So this really is a testament to who and what I stand for. So thank you. I'll definitely be back. I was speaking earlier about, I've been thinking about a dual club. So yeah.
Yeah, Leaders Worldwide is ideal for having your moonlighting club, if not your main club. So we are open for that. And today I'm offering virtual hot beverages. So what's your favorite hot beverage?
I love chai latte.
Oh, wow. Right up my alley. I make excellent tea, by the way. And it's gotten so bad that I don't like tea made by anyone else. So yeah, I've made this tea especially for you, and I'm throwing it your way. All right. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
We had our guest, Hope Locke, if I'm correct. Hope, are you there? All right. We have another guest, Sahil Malik. Would you like to introduce yourself and what did you take away from the meeting? Mr. Sahil, are you there?
Yeah, I am here, and thank you so much for took my name. And my name is Sahil. I am from India, and really happy to join. Toastmaster. And after a long time, I have joined again. Before, in past days, I have attended one session. So I really love this. So it was my I could say it was my second day to attend this session. So thank you so much. I was listening today. Yeah.
That was beautiful. We look forward
Yeah.
to having you again and having you as a member as well. And yes, it's late in India, but you know what? I'm in Pakistan, and what I'll do after this meeting is make myself a cup of coffee and offer one to my wife as well. If she agrees,
Okay.
fine. If she does not, finer. So
Actually, I
So
come
what
late
hot-
from office, so so at this time I practice of speaking English. So I
All
will
right.
awake till 3 a.m. and 4 a.m. I will practice.
So yeah,
thank you.
you're like a desi, you're typical desi like myself. So what hot beverage would you like to have?
For me, I would like cold coffee. This is my favorite.
Oh, it was to be a hot beverage, but okay, fine.
Oh,
You first
okay.
have to.
Yeah.
All right. No, you can have cold coffee. I love cold
Yeah.
coffee.
Yeah.
So I'm throwing the cold coffee your way. Please enjoy
Yeah.
and stay awake the rest of the night.
Thank you. Thank you so.
So with that, I believe it's time to bring our meeting to a close. And I bet that today the happiest person on this planet is our VP Education, Kathleen Peel, because she has the agenda of the next meeting all figured out. That has to be a record. So congratulations on that. And with that, we say goodbye and see you in a week's time. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a wonderful day. See you next time.